artificial intelligence has proven to be extremely valuable for asset and wealth management. Leveraging on the combination of analytical AI and generative AI, Sphere has been designed to support your investment decisions while simplifying market analysis and decision-making. But in practice, how does it work? Starting with analytical AI, this facet of artificial intelligence plays a pivotal role in extracting valuable insights from extensive datasets and forecasting future behaviors and dynamics, especially within evolving environments like financial markets. On the other hand, generative AI is utilized to craft easily digestible content autonomously, providing clear insights and reporting. In Sphere, analytical and generative AI join forces in a collaborative approach. Every portfolio is analyzed in detail, leveraging on analytical insights and using forecasts to stay on top of risks and opportunities. On the other hand, the capabilities of the generative AI create streamlined summaries that provide a comprehensive understanding of these analytical outputs. Furthermore, Ask Sphere AI capabilities allow for an interactive experience with Sphere's intelligence, enhancing the explainability of recommendations and providing an in-depth understanding of investment decisions. For example, users can easily compare portfolios, assess risk concentration, or understand why Sphere is suggesting to include a specific instrument on the optimized portfolio. The fusion of analytical and generative AI represents more than a mere partnership. It embodies a powerhouse that magnifies our capacity to comprehend and navigate the complexities of financial markets.
Hello everyone, and welcome to today's event, Empowering Investment Managers with Analytical and Generative AI. We're going to present some modern use cases. I'm Andrea Sala, your moderators for today's conversation. It's fantastic to have you join us for another one of our periodic episodes on the intersection of AI and the investment landscape. You know, I'm very excited because today's episode is being recorded during the Digital Leaders Week, which is where tech leaders around the world gather to discuss the latest tech innovations. And, you know, this is coming at a time where our technology, Sphere, is being recognized by several events, by several awards. So I'm very excited to be sharing with you guys all of the recent updates and, well, some recent topics and use cases that we found out along the way. You know, we're gathered here today because in an industry as dynamic and as complex as investment management, AI is more than just a buzzword. It is transforming how we think about decision-making, personalization, and portfolio management itself. But to unlock its full potential, we need to move beyond the hype and focus on the tangible benefits that this technology can offer and can bring within the investment process. As part of this mission, you know, to share these innovations, these topics, we regularly host episodes like this one to dive into challenges, the solutions, and the opportunities that AI can offer in the investment process. So if you're interested in exploring any past episodes, some documents, you're more than welcome to visit www.m.m.ai. Now, back to us. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by two distinguished professionals who will share their expertise and firsthand experiences with AI in the investment landscape. First, we have Peter Zangari, who is our partner and head of Americas at M.M. Peter brings decades of experience in the investment management landscape and a unique perspective, I'd say, on how AI is shaping the industry. Second, we have Joana Fernandes, our client solutions manager. She works closely with institutional investors and their path on integrating AI within their investment process. And Joana, you know, she has a wealth of knowledge on the real world applications of AI, and she'll be sharing some valuable use cases with us today. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So I'm very excited. So I'd say let's just dive right in.
Excellent.
So Peter, I would like to start with you. And as I previously stated, you have, well, a wealth of experience in the industry, and you've seen it change along the way. And as you've seen this industry change, into what challenges has it evolved today? For example, how are these challenges influencing the way investment firms operate today?
Sure. Well, great to be here. And it's great to talk with Joana as well, and to share my thoughts on this or these important questions. So I would say first and foremost, the challenges that the investment industry, the wealth management industry is facing today those challenges are very similar to what one observed over the past several years. But what's different now is that there are capabilities, and those capabilities where AI are its underpinning to develop real-world solutions. And that's a very exciting development because you go from talking about problems, identifying problems, to now being able to create or identify solutions. And we all know, the asset management industry has had various challenges over the years, whether certain elements of the asset management industry had performance challenges and or challenges related to driving cost efficiencies. And with AI, what we're observing in terms of speaking with our clients is that they're leveraging, our technology, Sphere in particular, to not only help them drive efficiencies in their organization that is developing and maintaining a lower cost base, but also helping them create opportunities to improve the performance of their investment portfolios.
Perfect. And Joana, with your view, like working alongside, institutional investors, what would you say are some of their main challenges nowadays?
I think I'm very aligned with Peter with what he just said. It's very important also to highlight what you said in the beginning. So right now there is a big hype around AI. We need to go further that hype, and we need to actually understand which are the kind of opportunities that are out there. It's about costs. It's about personalization at scale. It's about doing things more efficiently. And I think that we have had problems like this in the industry for a long time. We have our clients that want to keep the level of personalization that they want to offer to their own clients, but there are so many things out there, and there are so many things that maybe are very time consuming. And I think that leveraging AI to manage all these tasks, that it's not that they're not important, but they can be made better, and they can be totally controlled by who needs to perform these tasks, but they can be done in a more efficient way. So I think that those challenges are really the ones that are starting to being addressed and can be addressed with the capabilities of the AI. And I hope that today we will go a bit deeper into this as well in some concrete use cases. But definitely, I think it's going to change the way asset wealth managers approach their operativity as well.
Well, yeah, Joana, as you said, AI can bring efficiency, can bring some, let's say, automation to these tasks. Peter, you recently attended also the Summit of Asset Management in New York. You got the chance to talk to some industry leaders, about recent applications, especially since, you know what these industry leaders are thinking and everything. What would you say, as Joana said, that AI can address some of these challenges? Where is AI being applied in order to address these challenges? Let's say, where would you see are the opportunities that lie within AI?
Sure. So I see two opportunities, important opportunities. The first is around the client experience. And we know that, one of the top goals of these asset managers, wealth managers, is how do they improve the client experience, right? Not only to help maintain, clients, but also to win clients. So, using our software, for example, Sphere, we developed ways in terms of how you can create reports which go well beyond the typical reports of reporting tables of numbers. So for years, and still now, when you report performance or characteristics of your portfolio, it was in the tables of numbers. And that's a necessary but not a sufficient condition to convey important information to your clients. And what we've seen, using artificial intelligence, is that you can take tables of numbers, which are often just kind of, either not looked at carefully or not looked at all, to convert those tables of numbers to a narrative, to a story. And that's what clients are looking for, because they have limited time and they want to know as quickly as possible, how do they understand the portfolios that are being managed by the fiduciary that they have their portfolio being managed to. So that's one important area. The other important area, which I find particularly exciting, is in the space of wealth management, but in particular, the creation of model portfolios and how you go from views, whether it's from an investment community or elsewhere, how do you go from views and convert them to a set of model portfolios? And then how do you quickly take those model portfolios and convert those to hundreds, maybe thousands of individual separate accounts, individual client portfolios that reflect the preferences of those individual clients. That is a problem where, these managers, these institutions need scale, right? They need to do that in an efficient manner, in a low-cost manner, and, using technology that leverages artificial intelligence, you can now develop those solutions. Again, which is very exciting and offers those wealth managers many more opportunities ahead.
Yeah, well, we've seen several ways in which AI can definitely bring scale, and talking about, managing, rebalancing, a large amount of portfolios really brings scale, which brings growth to an investment process. It brings the scalability. Maybe Joe, you work with clients closely, can you bring maybe a specific use case in which the client has leveraged AI in order to do exactly this, to manage hundreds, if not maybe thousands of portfolios?
Yes, absolutely. During my experience of working with different spheres clients, we see this problem that Peter just mentioned in small realities, in big realities. There is the problem of creating this scalability, creating this capability of having a strategic guideline that should be the one to be followed. But we still have a lot of different portfolios, different client customizations. We go back to personalization. We go back to specific objectives, limits that we cannot ignore. We have a case. We have a client, a very big European asset manager. They have different client portfolios, so they have different mandates that they need to manage, that they need to rebalance on a periodical basis. But they need all these portfolios to be monitored and aligned to a common view. As Peter was saying, it's something that is defined by the investment teams. It's a strategic view, and then they need to act tactically on that. So how do you guarantee that this view is reflected in thousands of portfolios while still respecting each client's risk profiles, each client's objectives, each client's mandates and limits and targets, of course. Sphere, our technology, what we have developed throughout the years, it's something that is designed to help in exactly this. So there is space to control, and of course the control remains to the teams that need, of portfolio managers that need to rebalance these portfolios, monitor these portfolios. They are the ones guiding the actual final output, but there is a lot of interaction with the tool that allow you to set exactly where you want to arrive. At the operational level, at the risk level, there are a lot of things that can be set during the initial phase of setup, and this is a work that we do together with our clients, of course, because we are here not only to provide a solution, but also to help them in understanding how this solution can be integrated in their process. I said in the beginning that we see this in many different realities. And although the problem seems always the same, the way we apply the solution, it's not always the same. So we have Sphere as the solution, and then we have the guidance and the working together with the client in order to implement the solution in line with the client's objectives, of course.
Yeah, and what I would do is I really want to underscore the uniqueness and the importance of this this process where you go from views, let's say from an investment community, to then model portfolio, to then specific or separate accounts, that is portfolios for individual clients that could range into thousands of portfolios, where each one of those portfolios could have infused in them their own client preferences.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's very specific, it's very customized, and it's been like the holy grail of the industry for a while because you want to do that in an effective way. And in my experience to date, there's always been a challenge of doing that, whether it was on the model portfolio construction or the converting those model portfolios to actual client portfolios. So that's a really exciting development.
Yeah.
Well, it's very exciting as well, the customization aspect of it, because it's definitely a rising challenge in the industry. You know, there's more pressure from clients demanding more customization, right? And we're not only talking about, you know, the customization, but also there's a rising need for client engagement, which brings me back to even the reporting that you were talking about in the beginning, Peter, about how you can transform this table of numbers, as you called it, into an actual, you know, digestible piece of text to translate what is in the portfolio, what is happening, right?
Right.
Could you maybe dig a little bit more on that? Like, where do you see the benefit, especially when it comes to client engagement?
Yeah. Well, I think the benefit is, you know, clients are people. And what people often want is a simple story, regardless of the topic you're focusing on. So in the investment management space, often the story is around performance, or the story is around the characteristics of a portfolio. Why does my portfolio have certain holdings? Why have those holdings changed? What exposures do my portfolios have in terms of sectors, countries, regions, what have you? And again, to deliver that story in a way where it's not through a set of numbers, it's through literally creating a narrative that can be easily digestible and could be true to the actual data supporting the story. So what we're talking about here is not a simple application of ChatGPT. What it is, it's a way of taking a set of numbers, a set of calculations, often produced by what's referred to as analytical AI, and then using generative AI to convert those numbers, those analytics, into that narrative. And that's what, with Sphere software, that's something that we can deliver. And based on the feedback we have from clients, we're delivering it to their satisfaction.
Okay, and the application of analytical and generative AI, well, we see it with Sphere, right? We see it with the way you said, delivering a story as well. Well, the feature is actually called Storyfolio. And talking about that, Joana, how have you helped certain clients, certain institutional investors implement this solution within their investment process?
On Sphere and with the Storyfolio, so with the storytelling of the portfolio, I think we're letting down a lot of barriers that our clients have. We are addressing a lot of challenges that our clients have. Not only the part of creating this kind of reporting that needs to connect so many dots, that if you need to do it for 100, 200, 1,000 of portfolios, it's really difficult. And the other barrier that we are kind of addressing, it's also in line with what Peter was saying, is getting also our clients closer to their clients. because putting everything from a table of numbers into text, maybe for a lot of people, it's much easier to read the text and actually understand what's happening. And until the generative AI was out there and we could leverage these kind of capabilities, this communication was very difficult because maybe people are not so comfortable with reading numbers, interpreting what's happening. And of course, it's about giving them a better output, giving to the final clients a better output that can be easily understandable, but also be more transparent and explain why we are taking some of the decisions that we are taking, why our clients are suggesting portfolios and specific allocations. And also, I think that this is, of course, not the only part that is important, because then it facilitates a lot the internal processes of teams that maybe need to spend a lot of time creating reporting and pulling out these explanations that are not always easy. But especially they are able to provide a new service that really adds value and really enhances trust and communication with end clients. We have been seeing this with Sphere. We have different cases as well here with Storyfolio that is being used with success. And we do see that on the other side, we are getting a lot of good feedback. It makes sense. It's something that is controlled. It's something that still maintains the level of personalization that we are looking for, because as for the rebalancing scale that we were saying before, we are still, with the generative AI, aligning portfolio commentaries with what is relevant for that portfolio, what is relevant for that client. It's not one commentary that suits all, of course. And most importantly, it's something that it's created with a couple of clicks. So once everything is set up, you really can bring it to scale. And then you can have a recurring reporting being created whenever you need with a couple of clicks. That saves you a lot of time. Cost efficiency, we're back to this. Mm-hmm. Personalization, we're back to this. Mm-hmm. And especially client engagement, which is the final result that everyone is looking for.
Yeah, definitely. So sort of combining portfolio rebalancing as well as these custom commentaries, Storyfolio specifically, we are bringing growth, we're bringing scale and automation to an investment process. However, I would also like to talk about the quality, about the performance of an investment process. So we talked about how it can bring scalability, but let's talk a little bit about how it can also bring performance, right? For example, how does it influence decision making? Maybe, Joana, you have a use case that can talk about how it can aid an investment team, for example.
Absolutely. There is a section of Sphere more dedicated also to research. And this is something we do a lot on MDOTM. We have a lot of research, a lot of data scientists, big R&D team working behind the scenes. And this scalability and this portfolio management, of course, is also a very big part of what we do. But getting these insights and these views from the AI that has totally different methodology. It's not that it's best. It's not that it's worse. It's totally different. It's data-driven, is unbiased. It's another input that can be integrated for example, in an investment committee. It can play the role of another analyst that sits at the table and gives its point of view on what is happening. We have different clients currently integrating these, from insurance companies to wealth asset managers, that they take Sphere's input as another one that is going to contribute to the final decisions, to the final asset allocation decisions, to also the way they adapt their strategies throughout time using Sphere's risk signals and the methodology that is working behind. So I think it's also very important that you brought this to the table, because everything we do relies on this. And it doesn't mean that we need to rebalance a lot of portfolios and have the commentaries so that we can leverage AI, because AI, it's not only about these two initial use cases, it's also about having a seat at the table and helping us, guiding us, and giving us an extra input from all the things that we can get from the more traditional methods, let's say.
Yeah, Peter, especially as Joana said, it's an additional point of view, as you can keep on using the traditional methods and blend them with AI. Well, you've seen how we have shifted from only using the traditional methods to also using AI. How would you say they can blend together nowadays?
Well, I think there's various ways that one can blend views that are created from AI to one's own personal or institutional views. But going back to the question of performance, and I think this is something that should be really underscored. Improving performance, creating alpha is a holy grail of investment management, right? That's what clients pay you for, among other things, the client service and things like that. But there's also, rightfully so, a lot of skepticism or even cynicism around how do you create alpha? Or can you use AI, for example, to create alpha? And I think what's important to understand, critically important to understand, is that methods, applications that use AI, what they allow you to do is they allow you, going back to Joanna's point, they allow you to make decisions in a quicker way, a better way, a more effective way. And when you can do that, make decisions quicker and better, that will lead to, keeping all of the things constant, better performance, because it will allow you to do research more effectively. It will allow you to identify problems more quickly, and it will allow you to identify opportunities more quickly. And all of that combined, should lead to better alpha opportunities.
So I believe we've covered, the main use cases. We covered growth, the scalability. We covered even the performance and quality that it can bring to an investment process. So I believe this is a good point to wrap up our conversation for today. It was short, but it was sweet, since we definitely covered everything. And it truly showed how AI is sort of like redefining modern investment management.
Sure.
And the examples we heard today really illustrate, the transformative potential that these technologies have. Now, for our viewers, remember that if you'd like more information on each use case that we touched upon today, you're more than welcome to visit www.m.m.ai. You can even reach out to us in case you have any more questions. Thank you again for you guys to have seen us today, and especially thank you to Peter and Joana for sharing your expertise today. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And we look forward to continuing the conversation in future sessions. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.